Hello, friends and residency candidates, and welcome to today's discussion. It is Sunday, March 13th, the day before match week starts, and we're sure that everybody's feeling all sorts of things today, probably a little bit excited, nervous, anxious, all the things for everybody that was able to apply during the main match and you got some interviews. We're hoping the best for all of you. Potentially, you did not interview with programs and you're thinking about going through the post-match soap, or you just didn't apply to very many programs or didn't get enough interviews and you're considering soap possibilities. Today, we're going to be talking all about match week and how to succeed during the post-match soap. So again, welcome. We welcome all your questions and comments throughout this discussion. And hello, Tiffany. Welcome to you as well.
Hello, Zeph. Hello, everybody. I want to start out by telling everybody about some really exciting events that we have going on during Match Week. So I'm going to start with our Instagram t-shirt raffle for the iMatch t-shirts. And these are really cool t-shirts that I want to share with you. So let me do that. And all you have to do in order to enter the raffle is go to our Instagram feed, find the raffle post, and then you can share it to your story. You can tag 3 IMGs and like the post, and then you'll be entered to win. So as you can see, it's just a really cool, sharp looking shirt, and you can take a picture, throw it up on social media, make sure that you tag us in your picture too. We've got them in all different colors. And it's just a fun way to kick off Monday of Match Week. So make sure that you're tuning into our Instagram account for that. Another awesome thing that we're doing this year that's brand new is we're offering free iMatched banners to everybody. And this is what they look like. You can use them digitally, or you can actually go ahead and print them out. So we've got a printer-friendly white option as well. And we have in our Instagram bio a link to all of the different specialties that we offer. So the 18 IMG friendly specialties that we've created these banners for. And then we have blank banners too. So if you matched into a different specialty like plastic surgery, you can fill in the specialty, as well as when Friday rolls around, you can fill in where you matched at. And then these are another really fun way to kind of share your exciting news throughout Match Week. So again, you can find these in the bio on our Instagram page. There'll be a link to a Google Drive where you can access your banner whenever you're ready. The last thing I want to tell you about, as far as exciting things we're doing during Match Week, is our success story takeovers and success story interviews. So we want you to share your story with everybody. If you want to do that, just reach out, send us a DM, and we'll schedule a takeover for you. And if you're interested in doing an interview, we can talk about that too. This is also true for you if you didn't match and you still want to share your story, your experience, if you have some advice, and even what your plans are for the upcoming cycle, or if you're going to go in a different direction. We want to hear from you too. So just reach out at any time through our DMs, and we'd love to chat with you. So with all of that being said, if you are tuning into our event, it's likely that you're thinking about participating in the soap. And like Zeph said, that might be because you did not go on too many interviews, or you didn't apply, for any to begin with. You were always planning on participating in the soap. Whatever the case may be, we want to make sure that you're prepared for the soap by sharing the timeline with you and all of the ins and outs and offering as much advice as we can. So Zeph, do you want to jump into the timeline?
Exactly. So we're going to go over the timeline here. And if you have questions throughout any of this, please do make sure to leave them in the chat and we'll get to them throughout the discussion today. And at the end, we'll have a more extensive Q&A. But yeah, let's dive into the timeline and talk a little bit more about some of these residency.com. Where you're going to find out matched, partially matched, or unmatched at 9 a.m. And you're going to be notified through NRMP, the R3 system, and also via email. You can also use the NRMP's mobile app, but it's probably best to just look at the NRMP R3 system on your desktop, and you're going to find out if you're matched. And of course, we want everybody to be matched, but unfortunately, that's just not the case. People do have to go through the post-match soap, so it is extremely important to be prepared for the post-match, especially if you had few interviews, or perhaps you didn't even send a rank order list because you had a change of heart about maybe the specialty you wanted to pursue, or um, anything like that where you're going to be more likely to participate in the soap. So again, on Monday at 9 a.m., you're going to find out if you're matched or partially matched or unmatched. And if you're partially matched or unmatched, then you're going to have to go through the post-match soap. Now, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., you can start researching programs. And then at 10 a.m. on Monday of match week, Eris opens for applicants to start selecting programs and applying to them through Eris. If you're participating in the post-match, all applications have to go through Eris. And besides sending your application, you have 45 applications. You cannot initiate contact with programs during the post-match soap. So send in your application to 45 of the very best programs for you, and then you just have to wait for programs to contact you. You cannot have people contact programs on your behalf, and you cannot contact programs yourself. So make sure that you just wait to hear back from them and submit them all before 8 a.m. on Tuesday, because that's when program directors are going to be able to start reviewing the applications. And this is just like the main residency match where you want to be among the first applicants. So there's absolutely no reason to wait until after 8 a.m. on Tuesday to apply. So you really want to be spending all of Monday applying to programs. Now you might be thinking, how do I find the best programs if there's hundreds of programs on the unfilled list? And the best way to do it is going to be using a post-match compatibility search engine, which will give you basically instantaneous compatibility results. So this is just an example list. I'm just going to show you real quick how the electronic residency program compatibility search engine works. So you just copy in the ACGME code from the NRMP list of unfilled programs, and then you hit a search, and then you get an instantaneous compatibility result. So this is going to help you find 45 of the best programs for you quickly and efficiently. And you can see the minimum criteria for that program and for all the programs that you search. So I'm just going to go through a couple quick examples here. You can see how fast this is, just instantaneous compatibility results. You can bookmark programs that you find to be especially compatible. This has a medium IMG friendliness, which is good. They accept a J1 visa. That might be something you're looking for. They don't have extremely high minimum scores for step 1 and step 2. So these are all things that you want to be looking at. And as you search for programs, again, that's through electronicresidency.com, you're going to get your compatibility list generated as you search for programs. And then as you bookmark maybe the top 45 of those programs you want to apply to, you can just show the programs of your preference in this list, and then you just go through Eris again and apply for those programs. So that's through electronicresidency.com. That is the program compatibility search engine. It's extremely helpful. And again, you want to be doing that between basically 9 a.m. and before 8 a.m. on Tuesday, the next day. And then Tuesday is basically going to be interviews. And so keep an eye out in your email for interviews. You might be getting phone calls. And how about Tiffany, are you able to tell us a little bit more about the interview process and what applicants can do to better prepare themselves for that aspect of the post-match soap?
Sure. So it is really critical to be prepared for your SOAP interviews. You are going to want to be able to express yourself really concisely and confidently. This is an important interview if you get one. So you want to be prepared. Historically, SOAP interviews have happened over the phone because the time window is so short. However, over the last couple of years, virtual interviews have become the new norm for us. So you want to be prepared for either a phone interview or a virtual interview. That means making sure that you have your space around you set up, and you are also ready to be on camera all day on Tuesday and all day on Wednesday. And that's a lot of commitment, but of course it's worth it for this very short time period. So to make sure that you're ready for interviews, we have two different resources that I'll tell you about. The first one is on our YouTube channel, and it is our interview series playlist. There's a ton of videos there that will walk you through some of the most common questions that you might be asked during the SOAP interview. And these videos will help you prepare your specific answer. So we're not going to tell you what you should say. We're going to tell you how to figure out what you should say in those videos. So it's really helpful. The videos are really short, very accessible. So you do have time between now and Tuesday to get through the playlist and start preparing. Another tool that you could think about using is our interview prep service. And that's a tool that is really excellent, especially for the virtual interviews. It delivers AI feedback that covers just about everything you could think of. You'll submit a recorded response to any residency question from the bank of questions that's available. And the AI feedback will let you know about physical things like your eye contact and the lighting, as well as your pace of speech, your use of vocabulary, filler words, how many times you pause. So, really, all the feedback that you could hope to get delivered pretty much instantaneously. It just takes a minute or two to process the video and then provide you that feedback. If you want to know how to sign up for that service, you can just send us a DM and we'll send you the link.
Perfect.
After Tuesday and Wednesday and all the interviews have happened, then we go into Thursday, right? So Thursday is offer round day and it begins at 9 a.m. Eastern time. And there are 4 separate offer rounds. Each one is 2 hours long and there's an hour in between each one. You want to make sure on Thursday that you have got your NRMP R3 account all logged in and open so that you're watching for an offer to come in. This is especially important in offer round 1 because that is when most of the SOAP spots will fill up. So, what to do if you get an offer and you're very excited. However, you think, well, I had 2 SOAP interviews and I really would have rather gotten an offer from this other program instead of the one that is here in my R3 inbox. The advice is that you should take the offer that you are given in round 1 and not hope to get another offer in the different rounds. It's really risky to do that. Like we said, most of the positions in SOAP are filled during the first offer round. The number available dwindles significantly as the rounds progress throughout the day. So, again, 9 a.m. Thursday morning, you want to be logged into your NRMP R3 account, watching for offers. And then you do have some time to think about it, right? The window is 2 hours long, so you don't have to make an instantaneous accept or deny decision, but you do have to make it kind of quickly. And we think that it makes the most sense to go ahead and accept anything that you're offered in offer round 1 rather than hoping for something in a later offer round.
Right. Yeah, it's really that only if you're 100% sure you do not want to go to that program. For example, if you had a conversation with them and you just got really bad um, sense for that program and you just decided that you don't want to go there, or you get multiple offers in one round and then you have the ability to choose which program out of those offers that you want to go to. But it is a binding contract once you do accept that offer, just like during the main match. So it's important to keep that in mind as well.
Sure. So yeah, that is going to bring us all the way to Thursday night at 9 p.m., which is the conclusion of the post-match soap. And then Friday, of course, at 12 p.m., everyone who found out they matched on Monday is going to find out where they matched. So that is the official conclusion of match week, and we'll all be moving forward in different directions after that.
And it's, again, I'm sure people are feeling a lot of different things right now: excitement, nervousness. It's all supernatural, perhaps or it's all very natural, I should say. And it's very possible that people who have gone through the post match might be going through it again, or maybe you got a preliminary position match, but you're still trying to get the advanced position. So that's if you're unmatched. And then on Friday, everything basically will conclude. And there are some things happening after the post-match soap. There still will be positions that get updated, and you can still look for positions after the soap concludes if you are still not matched. But again, for those who do find success during match week, we're extremely excited for you and proud of you. If you did not match, again, we're still here to support you, to hear from you, to help you further hone your application for the upcoming weeks after soap or for the next application cycle. But for those of you who did match during the main match or the post match, again, can you tell us a little bit more about some of the exciting celebrations that we're going to be having this week, Tiffany?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like Zeph said, regardless of when you match, you can participate in these different things that we have going on. One of them is completely brand new to us this year. I'm going to share my screen so that I can show you guys what this looks like. So, this is our I Matched banner, and it's free and available for you guys to download and either print it out so you can take some pictures for social media, or you can download it digitally. We have it in a story format, so you can share it like to your Instagram story and go ahead and type in where you matched at. We've got these ready for a lot of different specialties, and then we have some blank templates as well in case you wanted to fill in a different specialty that you matched into. The next thing that we have going on is our I Matched t-shirt raffle, and that is happening on Instagram. All you have to do is head over to our page, and when you see the raffle post, you will want to like it, share it in your story, and tag 3 IMGs. That automatically enters you into the raffle, and then you might have a chance at getting one of these really cool t-shirts. So these are just pictures from some of our winners last year. You can see the excitement and the smiles, and we're excited for that too tomorrow. Other things that we have going on are our success story takeovers on Instagram. So if you matched and you want to share your story, we want you to do so through our platform. We want you to be able to reach as many IMGs as possible. If you are interested in scheduling a takeover, just reach out through a DM, or you can email us at support@matcharesident.com, and we'll get you on the schedule. Last thing we're doing is success story interviews, where we're going to talk with people, especially people from across a range of different specialties and people who have really unique stories. We want to talk with you, interview you, and then share your story with people who are thinking about the match in next cycle and in years to come. So if you're interested in that, feel free to reach out. If you didn't match, that doesn't mean that we don't want to hear from you. It means that we also want to share your story and we want to know what you're doing next. So feel free to reach out to us, even if you didn't match and you want to share with other IMGs who are thinking about the match.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly. There's so much learning that happens every single year throughout the entire application process, and things change from season to season. The last 2 years have been a really excellent example of that, with everything changing with interviews, and then we have things like the supplemental heiress application getting thrown into the mix. Step one going to pass fail now. So there's so much changing all the time, and the way applicants are applying changes, education changes. And so there is always an opportunity to learn from the current pool of applicants, from the success, learn what people think that they should have done differently that might have helped them find more success or match into that top program. So it's super important to really hear from the community and to share with the community. And if you do have questions about Match Week or the post-match soap, of course, you can leave them in the chat right now, or you can always DM us or email or call us. We're going to be manning the phone lines tomorrow. Again, if you're partially matched or unmatched, you want to make sure that you go to electronicresidency.com for the post-match soap program compatibility search engine. So it's very important that you're able to find the best 45 programs for you to apply to within that 23-hour time period from Monday at 9 a.m. through Tuesday at 8 a.m. And if you have questions during that time period, you can email support@matcharesident.com. You give us a call. Again, we're going to be there to help answer as many questions as we can. I know Match Week is extremely fast paced, especially for the post match soap. And if you need that support, we're going to do our best to be there for everybody as much as possible throughout Match Week and, of course, beyond.
Yeah, and if you're thinking that there's a possibility that you're going to participate in the soap, you want to go ahead and go to electronicresidency.com and create your profile. You don't have to actually purchase the service up until the moment that you know you need it, but go to the website, bookmark it so you know where it's at, complete your applicant profile so that in the event you do need it, all you have to do is hit go, and then you'll have access to your list. So it makes sense to be prepared. It will help keep you calm if you know that you have tools in place in the event that you do need to take part in the soap.
Perfect. Well, again, if you have questions, we're going to give you just a couple more minutes to leave them in the chat here. And if you have follow-up questions, again, email us or call us. and we'll be more than happy to help support you in your journey. Um, Make sure to share your success story with us. Sign up for a takeover. We're going to be doing lives and celebrating as a community come match week, and again supporting those who might not have found the success that they were looking for. And, we're here for you, and we want to hear from you, and we want to help support you in as many ways as possible.
Yeah, and so we did have a question come in, and we're being asked for the SOAP. Of course, programs filter out applications with things like their step score cutoffs. Should we not apply to programs that have higher step score cutoffs than your step scores? And that is a really good question. So you should try to apply to programs where your step scores are aligned with the program's requirements. Those are going to be the ideal places for you to send your 45 applications. Of course, it's possible that there won't be enough programs where you fit within their requirements because, of course, the unfilled program list is not as broad as the main match selection. So the smartest thing you can do, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, is visit electronicresidency.com, and that's going to allow you to see very, very quickly how your scores and all your other applicant credentials, how they compare to the program's requirements. It's going to tell you, literally, it's going to give you green light or red light to let you know, yes, you are a good match with this program and you should consider applying, or no, you don't meet this program's requirements, so you should not apply to this program. So that's really the best tool that we can offer and the best advice that we can give you in terms of making sure to target your 45 applications really well.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very important that you are adhering to the minimum requirements. It's rare that they're going to want to go below their set minimum requirements. It'd be very special circumstances to do that. So they are going to be looking for people to meet their pre-established minimum requirements.
And let's see. So we do have another comment or question that came in. It says, I have a mentor and he told me to let him know about the available spots in case I soak. So he may contact the PD if he knows him. I know the rules say not to contact the program before they contact you, but how risky is it if he contacts the program on my behalf? We recommend absolutely not doing this. It's an NRMP violation for you to share your list with anyone. So it's probably going to backfire if you try to do this. We strongly advise not to.
It could result in a match violation, and you could be banned from the match. Uh, the time for that person to reach out to that program is after you've gotten the interview. Then you can have your references contact that program to really pitch for you, because the program has already established contact with you. So now you're
Right.
allowed to communicate with that program, and you're allowed to have references like this other PD contact that program, and that would in fact be it could be very helpful to you. Get a
Yeah.
strong PD recommendation um, to that program, but you should absolutely not do it until you've been contacted by the program already.
We don't have any other questions yet, but there is one other thing I just wanted to re-emphasize for everybody who's watching, and that's don't rush. So even though the post-match soap is a really fast-paced thing that happens just over a period of a couple of days, it used to happen even more quickly. It was just a matter of 3 or 4 hours that you had to research programs and get your applications in. So the idea of the rush of the soap is really not as rushed as it was in previous years. You now do have 23 hours to go through your program research. If it's possible, once you've made up your mind about the 45 programs that you want to apply to, you should take a break. You should step away. You should have something to eat. You should get the soap off of your mind if that's even possible, even if it's just for an hour, so that you can come back with some fresh eyes, take a deep breath, and reconfirm and reevaluate the choices that you're making. Making choices in a rushed and panicked feeling is not likely going to be the same great outcome that you might have if you are able to take the time and really think through them. And you have that time this year. So just wanted to remind everybody that the soap is known for being rushed, and it's just a little bit less rushed this year. So keep that in mind.
It's a very good point to make sure that you're being meticulous and that you're finding the most compatible programs for you. So we do have some more questions coming in here. So it says, what about the location of the programs? For example, should a Virginia applicant not apply to, let's say, a Texas or Louisiana program because it is so far away from the Virginia applicant? The answer to that is you should not avoid that program simply because it's further away. Think about it from a program's perspective. They are trying to fill their positions. And they're going to be taking candidates from all over the country to fill those positions. The fact that they're even in the SOAP is something that is undesirable from a program's perspective. So they're going to be looking at credentials. They're going to be looking at your personal statements. They're going to be looking at your letters of recommendation. They're going to be looking at your application and scrutinizing those things. It's not like they have the time to really decide between, how far you are from that program. If you were from Virginia and you applied to Virginia programs first as a strategy to prioritize those programs nearest to you and that you might have some connection with, or they might feel that you are closer, then that could be a good strategy. But just simply avoiding programs because they're further away is not really what you should be focusing on. You need to be focusing on the minimum requirements, and you need to be focusing on preparing your application ahead of time so that you have specialty specific personal statements for the post match and specialties that you may not have applied to during the main match, specialty specific letters of recommendation, and of course, updating the rest of your application as you can, including the other supporting documents. Maybe you retake your AIRS photograph because your first one was just unprofessional or it wasn't a professional headshot, and you're able to really make sure that you have the best documents possible.
Yes, the only thing I would add into that stuff is that don't put forth an application to a program in a state where you don't want to live. So if you know, for instance, that you absolutely don't want to move to Texas and you would probably reject an offer from a program in Texas, then don't use one of your 45 applications for that program. That may seem obvious, but I just wanted to make sure we had a really full answer. You can apply to programs in any state, no matter where you live, but you obviously would want to avoid the ones in places that you don't want to go.
Right. That's a very good point. So we have a couple more questions here. Is NRMP the same as R3, and how and where do we see the unfilled programs? So the answer is R3 is the NRMP system. It's the NRMP R3 system. So yes, those are part of the same organization, and that is where you will find the list of unfilled programs. If you're participating in the post-match SOAP, you will see a tab that says SOAP via the NRMP R3 system, and that's where you're going to find the list of unfilled programs. Again, that's the only place you're going to find that list, and that's the only place that you should view those programs. Don't share it with anybody. Don't send it to other applicants. People who are not participating in the post-match SOAP cannot apply to those programs during the post-match. So don't share the list. Again, we had an earlier question about a PD contacting the program on your behalf before they contact you. Don't do that. Make sure that you're following all the NRMP policies and guidelines. It's incredibly important. They're not. They will take every violation seriously if it's reported. So make sure that you're following those.
Yeah, and actually, at our electronic residency blog, we have an article with 10 really important NRMP match policies. So if you want to know those in full, you can head over to the electronic residency blog and read up on those just to make sure that you don't make a mistake that could cost you without even realizing that you're doing that.
So we're going to wait another minute here for any other questions to come through. But to summarize again, on Monday of match week, you're going to find out at 9 a.m. whether you're matched or partially matched or unmatched. So for partially matched people, that means you've gotten into an advanced position, but not a prelim, or a prelim, but not an advanced position, and you can go through the SOAP to try to complete your training. For those who are just completely unmatched, you didn't match to any positions, you're going to be able to participate in the SOAP from 9 a.m. till 10 a.m. on Monday. You can start reviewing programs, and at 10 a.m. you can start applying to them. Electronicresidency.com is where there's a program compatibility search engine specifically designed for SOAP that you can use to find your 45 most compatible programs. That's the limit you have to apply during the post match. And from 10 a.m. on Monday to before 8 a.m. on Tuesdays when you should be applying to those top 45 programs for you. And then Tuesday and Wednesday is going to be reviewing applications and interviews. And Thursday, you're going to have the 4 offer rounds back to back to back, basically. And of course, you need to be accepting your offers during the offer rounds if you do get one, unless you're extremely opposed to going to that program or you get multiple offers in one round. And then Friday is match day, and everybody finds out where they're matched. Again, we've talked about all the amazing things and celebrations we're going to be having. So participate in those if you can and want to. We want to hear from you. And I believe that sums everything up. Do we have any other questions right at the moment, Tiffany?
No, we don't.
Perfect. All right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up for the time being. Of course, send us an email, DM us, call us, reach out if you have questions or just need support. We will be here to answer your questions, to help guide you. And of course, prepare ahead of time. If you're thinking about the soap, that's the one takeaway. You have about 16 hours to really make sure that you're ready. And so take that time right now to be prepared if you are going to be going through the soap. And we wish everybody the best of luck. We want as many people, especially IMGs, to match as possible. If you're not already, of course, please subscribe to Match Residence YouTube channel. We release content on a weekly basis, if not more often. And we will talk to everybody soon. Thanks so much for being here, Tiffany. And thank you all for
You know
tuning
what?
in.
We did have 2 more questions sneak in, and I think that they're good
Perfect.
ones.
Great.
Even though we're just about to wrap it up, I think that we'll take a minute to address these. So,
Yeah.
first, when can we update our application for the soap? So that's something that actually you can't do. Your ARIS CV, that application is locked into place. You can't add experiences or anything like that. You can change your personal information, like if your email address or mailing address has changed. And of course, you can update your supporting documents, but you can't actually update your ARIS CV for the soap, unfortunately. If there are changes, those are like you've gained US clinical experience since the time that you applied, so it's not on your CV. That's something that you can communicate in your personal statement. So anything that's important, that's a change, you want to make sure that you have revised your personal statement to include it and make sure that it's up near the top. So it's calling attention to this particular change. Other question says, what is the whole thing about the total number of funding years for internal medicine if doing prelim medicine program? I have been reading about it online and was a little bit confused. Zeph, do you have a good answer for that one?
I'm not 100% sure exactly what they're asking about. What I can say is that if you do a prelim, so the government funds many residency programs. And if you've done a prelim, they've funded that year for you, and you're trying to match to a categorical starting in PGY1 again, they're not going to fund you for your second PGY1, or they're not going to fund that position. So residency programs are less likely to want to retrain people from PGY1 who have already completed a prelim year because of that funding issue. That might be what they're asking about here, but that's the closest answer I have for that question at the moment.
Yeah, I think that does actually address the question. And another way to explain it or to look at it is just to know that preliminary internal medicine positions, they're really meant for those who are going to be starting an advanced position in PGY2 in a specific specialty. They're not necessarily meant for those who want to go all the way through an internal medicine program. If that's the case, you really want to get into a categorical program rather than prelim, because as Zeph said, it would be difficult for you to kind of backtrack and do a second PGY1.
Exactly.
So yeah, those were the last questions. And I think Zeph already did a really great summary, letting everybody know what to expect from A to Z or Monday through Friday next week. And there's this follow-up question. So let's take a look at that before we actually wrap up. So we should apply to a PGY2 position after prelim programs. Yes, you should apply to what's called an advanced position because those start in PGY2.
And this only for certain specialties that you can apply to advanced positions. It's harder to just apply to a PGY2 internal medicine position because that's not something that they offer through the match specifically. So that's something you could go through. You have to look for open PGY2 positions and apply to them directly. But if you've already done a prelim and you're trying to do an advanced program, then yeah, you would apply through either the advanced positions listed or the physician R programs listed, which begin the same year as the application cycle, versus the advanced positions start 2 years from the current match.
Yeah. Yep. That's clear. I think so just to add one last thing, so not every specialty has an advanced track. Only certain specialties are considered advanced specialties, and internal medicine is not one of them. So you would not be able to just apply through the regular match process for a PGY2 internal medicine position.
Exactly. So I do see a couple more people hopping onto the live stream here, which is amazing. We've talked about a lot. We are answering questions at the moment. So if you've just got onto the live stream and if you have questions about the post-match soap or match week in general, we're going to be taking a few more questions if you do have them. So just try to leave them in the chat here and we'll be able to answer those now. But otherwise, you can always reach out to us through email and phone, as I mentioned. We'll just give another quick minute for any last minute questions and then wrap things up.
Sure. And so for those who are kind of joining in right now, one of the main things that we talked about is doing your program research, and our tool that we use, our program compatibility search engine, so that you can actually take your list of unfilled programs and enter it into the search engine to see if your applicant criteria are a match with that particular program. So it's really a way to narrow down the 45 applications that you have to send. And you can find that tool at our site, electronicresidency.com. It's a really great way to kind of take some of the stress and pressure off of researching so that you're not trying to go to 100 different program websites because it does go by quickly. So we do have another question that came in. Is a US number essential for the SOAP? I believe probably you're asking about having a US telephone number. I would say that yes, if it's possible for you to get like a WhatsApp account or another way of having a US based phone number, that would make it easier and more convenient if programs wanted to do a phone interview with you.
I would say it's very, very helpful to get that US number. Programs may call internationally, but they're more likely to call if you've already set up that US number that they can just call very easily. And that is one of the sections in ARIS that you can update is your personal information, which includes your contact information. So that is actually very critical to update before the post-match soap begins.
And for the moment, we don't have any additional questions that came in. So I think we'll go ahead and we will wrap this up. The entire video that we did from start to finish is going to be available for those of you who missed the beginning. You can watch it on our YouTube channel, and always just reach out either by commenting on the video. You can reach out through either Instagram or Facebook in our DMs. You can call us. You can find the numbers on the website. And of course, you can email us at support@matcharesident.com. We are standing by over the next week, starting today all the way through next Friday, to answer your questions, to help you to do whatever we can throughout Match Week. And Zeph and I both, on behalf of Match a Resident, we want to wish you guys success tomorrow and success through the soap if you're participating. And stay positive, everybody. And we want you to have a really great week ahead.
Perfect. Thanks for wrapping up, Tiffany. And again, best of luck to everybody out there. We're wishing you success and take care.
Bye.